If you had to start your business completely over tomorrow, knowing everything you know now, I wouldn't do things differently in terms of the vision, the mission, the commitment, the infrastructure, the systems, the technology stack. I would build it completely different because now I know exactly what matters and what doesn't. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I would build first and why. If I was starting from scratch with the knowledge I have now about GHL and AI, before I get into the build, I want to talk about what most entrepreneurs build instead.
If you're building your business from scratch or thinking about rebuilding what you already have, the order you build things matters more than most people realize. The right systems can save you months of frustration, thousands of dollars, and countless hours spent fixing mistakes later.
Hey there. All right. So someone asked me recently, if you had to start your business completely over tomorrow, knowing everything you know now, what would you do differently? And I sat there with that question for a minute because it's a really good one, right? The honest answer, I wouldn't do things differently in terms of the vision, the mission, the commitment, to helping women really build their businesses that actually work for their lives. That stays the same. I don't think that changes at all. I'm so passionate about that. But the infrastructure, the systems, the technology stack, I would build it completely different. And I would build it in a fraction of the time because now I know exactly what matters and what doesn't, right? So in today's episode is that I want to answer that in full, right? I'm going to walk you through exactly what I would build first and why. If I was starting from scratch with the knowledge I have now about GHL and AI, this one here is personal, really, and I think it's going to give you a really clear picture of where to focus your energy if you're building or rebuilding right now. So welcome back to the Digital Shift Podcast. I'm your host today, Natasha Roberson. I'm the CXSO at Selfmade. So let's get into it, right? So before I get into the build, I want to talk about what most entrepreneurs build instead. Because understanding the mistake is what makes the right path so clear. When most women start or grow a business, they build for the thing that's in front of them. They need a website, so they build a website. They need to book clients, so they book some clients on Calendly. They need to send emails, so they grab MailChimp or Constant Contact account. They need to manage clients, so they grab a spreadsheet. Every decision is reactive. Every tool is a Band-Aid. And before long, they're running a business on 7 disconnected platforms that do not talk to each other. They require so much manual work to keep them all synced together and create a technology burden that grows heavier every single month, every single quarter, every single year. I did this. I know exactly how it feels. And I know the moment you realize it, when you're manually copying contact information from one platform into another one at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, and it's the time to burn it down and build it right, okay? So what I know now and what I do from day one, if I were starting over, is build around one central platform, okay? That connects everything. And for me, that platform is GHL, full stop shop, okay? But GHL alone isn't the full answer. The magic is how you build inside of it. The structure, the sequences, the AI layers we add to it. Let me walk you through exactly what I build and in what order if I were to start over right now. So first thing I'd set up in GHL before anything else. If I was starting over tomorrow, the very first thing is my single source of truth. Everything, right? Everything, and I mean everything, lives in one place. That means all my contacts go into GHL, all my pipelines are in GHL, all my communication, my email, my SMS, my social media DMs, all managed in GHL, my calendar, my booking system, my forms, my automations, my surveys, all one platform, one login, one place where the whole business lives, right? The reason this is the foundation is because everything else I'm about to describe depends on it, right? AI cannot make smart decisions about your leads if your lead data is scattered across platforms. Automations can't fire correctly if your pipeline stages are inconsistent. Your systems cannot talk to each other if they're not on the same room, right? So before I build a single funnel, before I build a single ad, before I build a landing page or a website, before I launch anything, I would get GHL set up as my home base. Clean contact structure, clear pipeline stages, and mirror my actual sales process, right? Tags that mean something so we can sort and filter, and custom fields that capture the information that I actually need, not things I don't need, okay? This sounds super basic. It is. It is basic, but is the single step that most businesses and business owners skip, okay? And then they're going to spend years paying for it with messy data, broken automations, and systems that never quite work right, okay? So build the foundation first. Everything else is going to sit on top of it. All right, so once the foundation is solid, right, the second thing I go in and build is my lead capture and conversion engine. All right, this is the front end of your business, how leads find you, how they enter your world, and how they move through the process of being a stranger, a cold lead, to a paying client and a raving fan. Here's how I build it, okay? And this is where AI starts to do some things and some heavy lifting for you. But my first thing is first, I'd build one lead magnet, not 5, one.
Hey, quick pause before we continue, because if you're listening to this podcast and thinking, I love the strategy, but the tech still feels overwhelming, you're not alone. That's why Tech Savvy School exists. Tech Savvy School is where entrepreneurs learn how to actually build the systems behind a scalable business. Funnels, automations, workflows, and tools explained in plain language, step by step. No guessing, no duct taping platforms together anymore, just clarity and confidence with the tech that supports your growth. This podcast helps you think differently about your business. Tech Savvy School helps you implement what you're learning. If you're ready to stop feeling stuck on the tech side of things in your business, visit techsavvyschool.com and explore the trainings. All right, let's get back to the episode.
Something genuinely valuable that speaks directly to the woman I'm trying to serve and solve that one specific, super painful problem that she has right now. That lead magnet lives on a simple landing page in GHL, clean, clear, and zero distractions, okay? The moment somebody opts in, the automation starts. GHL is going to tag them based on how they found me and what they opted in for, right? An AI-powered welcome sequence fires immediately, personalized, it's warm, it's designed to move them towards the next step, whether that's booking a call with you, joining your program, maybe entering a nurture track, right? Nurturing them to your program or your process here, right? Then comes the part most people skip. Hear me out here. The AI conversion layer, the buyer psychology conversion flow, okay? Instead of just sending emails and hoping people book, I'd have AI work with AI for your SMS, your chats, your email touch points that actually starts a conversation, okay? It asks good questions, it gives great value, it listens to the answer, and it responds intelligently. When you hook up AI conversation in GHL, if you train it right, it will respond intelligently. and it qualifies the lead before any of the team spends a single minute with them. This is crazy, right? So from there, qualified leads are going to move into the booking pipeline. Automated reminders before the call, so you get more show up. Automated follow-up after the call. Why? Because you're going to forget to follow up with them after you get off the call. You need a system already in place that when I have a call for this is what they start getting to close them. Okay, because not everybody closes on the call. They're going to go into that nurture sequence that keeps them warm until they're ready, because not everybody's ready on day 1 after a call or day 5. They're ready in 3 months from now. You do not want to forget about those people, right? This engine, from the moment somebody discovers you, that moment they become a client, runs all inside of GHL. Utilizing AI helps handle those first conversations. Automations handle the logistics. The team handles the close. That's the division of labor that actually scales a business. All right. So the third thing I'd build, and I'd build this before I even launched, not after. Okay. I'm going to clear that, is the client experience system. The back end, right? Most entrepreneurs build the front end first because that's what generates the revenue. I understand. It was you. I did that, right? But here's what I know now that I didn't know when I started. If you don't have a back end ready, every client you close becomes a liability because you made a promise you don't have a system to keep up with. So I'd build the client experience system in parallel to the front end. Non-negotiable here, okay? That means a GHL onboarding workflow that fires the moment somebody pays you for this, a structured welcome sequence in your voice, a quick win delivered in the first 24 hours, expectation setting, this that removes all their confusion and builds confidence with you. It means milestone based check-ins that GHL manages automatically with AI and setting up your automations. When they watch this module or this lesson, send them this. Makes sense, right? So no client ever feels like you've forgotten them, even during the busiest seasons of your business. All right. It means that that AI layer that can monitor client engagement, flags disengagement early, and triggers re-engagement sequences before a quiet client becomes a canceled one. We don't want those anymore. And it means an acquisition, and in that acquisition pipeline, you have your ascension, right? You acquired them. Now we need to ascend them down the pipeline. So when a client is ready to go deeper, there's a clear path, natural next steps waiting for them when they're ready. So when you build this before you need it, something shifts in how you show up for sales, because you're not just selling a result. You're selling an experience that you've already built out. You can deliver every single time, consistently, at scale. That confidence comes through in a way that you're talking about your business and clients can feel it. All right. So here's the thing about starting over question. Most of you don't need to start over. Okay. You don't need to start over. You need to rebuild strategically, right? You've done the hard part. You started. You built something incredible. You have clients and you've had clients. You understand your market and you know what you do and who you serve. What might be missing is the infrastructure that turns what you've built into something that scales without consuming you. And that infrastructure, the GHL foundation, the AI powered front end and client experience system, is buildable. Right now, you can build that with what you have. You don't need a massive budget. You don't need a huge team. You just need some clarity on what to build in what order and a platform that can hold it all together. That's exactly what GHL gives you. Okay. And that is exactly what the tech savvy mentors at Self Made, we're here to help you build. I want 2026 and beyond to be the years where women-owned businesses stop being the underdogs in the space, where we stop letting tech overwhelm us and start using it as a weapon it actually is, where we build businesses that run, not businesses that run us. That starts with the right foundation, and it starts today, okay? So let me give you a quick recap here. If I was starting over, knowing what I know about GHL and AI, here's exactly what I'd build in what order. First is the foundation. One platform, one source of truth, clean data, clear pipelines. Everything lives in GHL from day one. Second thing, the lead capture conversion engine, okay? One great lead magnet, an AI-powered front end that starts conversations, qualifies leads, and moves people towards the close automatically. Third is the client experience system. Built before you launch, not after. A post-sale infrastructure that delivers a premium experience to every single client that comes through your door, retains them longer, and creates natural path to ascension and referral. Raving fans, that's what you want. Now, here's what I want you to do with this. I want you to take our free GHL business audit, okay? It's simple, fast assessment that looks at your current business through the exact lenses: foundation, front end, client experience, and shows you exactly where your gaps are and what to prioritize first, okay? No fluff, no overwhelm, just a clear picture of where you are and a simple plan of what should I build next. So go to www.self-made.biz/GHL-audit, okay? It's going to be down below in the show notes. It's free, it's fast, and it might be the most valuable 10 minutes you spend on your business this week. Share this episode with a woman who is building right now, maybe beside you, maybe in a different industry, or rebuilding their business. She needs a roadmap, not more noise. This is the roadmap, okay? So with that, thank you for being here today, and I'll see you on the next episode.
If you're getting value from these conversations, don't let this be the only episode that you listen to. Every episode of this podcast is designed to help you build a smarter business, one with real systems behind the scenes, not just ideas, motivation, or hustle. We break down what's actually working right now when it comes to automation, content, follow-up, and scaling without the burnout. If you want to see how all of this comes together in real life, I highly recommend watching the Self-Made Hub demo. Inside the Self-Made Hub, you'll see how entrepreneurs turn content into leads, and leads into conversations, and conversations into consistent sales using simple automated systems that don't feel overwhelming or cold. You can watch the demo anytime at self-made.biz/demo. Then queue up another episode, because the shift doesn't happen from one conversation. It happens when you start connecting all the dots. And I'll see you in the next episode.